Hello friends! That was a beautiful classic Alegrias Tremolo Falseta by Maestro Sabicas that you can find on his composition called Campiña Andaluza. Many guitarists interpreted this one, including the great Pepe Romero, a classical guitarist that was friends with Sabicas and who's always been a great advocate of flamenco. So I thought that I would do a tutorial explaining how to play this one, because it's an essential tremolo falsetto in flamenco. First thing that you need to know is that in the original recording, everything will sound up a perfect fourth. So your A major is going to sound like D major. The reason for this is that Sabicas is using a capo on the 5th fret of his guitar, so everything is transposed. I elected not to teach it this way because I want this to be accessible to both classical and flamenco guitarists alike, and those that don't own a capo. So, another thing that you need to know before we begin is that I'm going to be using a 5-note tremolo pattern rather than 4 notes that appears in classical guitar. So classical pattern is this: thumb, ring, middle, index, thumb, ring, middle, index, P-A-M-I. Flamenco tremolo has one more note, making it a quintuplet, so 5-note tremolo. It's thumb, index, ring, middle, index, thumb, index, ring, middle, index, P-I-A-M-I, like this. Okay, so now we're ready to begin. The first note is played on the 5th string, on the 4th fret of the 5th string, with the 3rd finger in the left hand, and that's the note that you play with the thumb, P. Now, these fingers, index, ring, middle, index, are going to play the open 1st string, which is an E. Okay, great. Now, the middle finger will now move to the 2nd fret of the 1st string, that's your F sharp, and together with it, in the bass, you're going to play the open D string, that's your 4th string. Now the index finger goes to the 2nd fret of the 4th string, that's going to be your E, and the pinky will go to the 4th fret of the 1st string, that's your G sharp. Now the pinky will slide up 1 fret to the A, that's your 5th fret of the 1st string, and your 3rd finger will play the F sharp on the 4th fret of the 4th string. Now the middle finger will get back to the F sharp, that's your 2nd fret of the 1st string, and together with it you'll again have the 4th open string, that's your D. Now the index finger will go to the 2nd fret of the 4th string, that's your E, and together with it you will have the pinky play the G sharp, 4th fret of the 1st string. Now the 3rd finger is going to go to the C sharp, that's the 4th fret of the 5th string, and together with it you'll have the open E, the 1st string. Now the index finger will go to the F sharp, the 2nd fret of the 1st string, and you will have a D in the bass, that's your 4th open string. But over here in this this cycle of tremolo, you will actually have one more note inserted in the middle for just one finger. So you're going to start with thumb, index in the right hand, and when you go to the ring finger, which is the next finger to play in a pattern, your pinky in the left hand will land on the 4th fret of the 1st string and play the G sharp. So you will have thumb, index, ring, right, like this. And then after that, you will go back to the F sharp, the 2nd fret of the 1st string, and complete the tremolo cycle by playing with middle and index fingers, like this. Index, ring, middle, index, D, F sharp, G sharp, F sharp, F sharp. Then the third finger will go to the 4th fret of the 5th string, C sharp, and you will play the open first string with it again. That's your E. And you will land on a E7 chord where the middle finger is on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. That's your B. First finger is on the 1st fret of the 3rd string. That's your G sharp, and pinky on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. That's your D. So that's the chord. And in the right hand, you're going to play low E, that's your 6th string with the thumb, and index finger will play the 2nd string, that's your D. Now the thumb will slide from the 5th string down to the 3rd string. But notice that when I get to the 3rd string, I play it together with a technique called golpe, where I'm hitting the guitar with these two fingers together. So at the same time, like this. 3rd string with the thumb and golpe here. So, like this. And after that, you're going to play one more note, that's an open E, 1st string, with index finger. So altogether it's going to be this. So this is what we learned so far. Now we will use these two fingers and we will remove the index finger, and these are our first notes in the next section. So B, 2nd fret of the 5th string, and D here, that's the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. So we'll play. Now look, the 3rd finger that is now free will go to the 4th fret of the 5th string, that's our C sharp, and we will play that together with the open 1st string, that's your E. Now the middle finger is going to jump to the F sharp on the 1st string, that's your 2nd fret, and together with it you'll play the open D in the bass, that's your 4th string. Now the index finger will land on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, that's your E, and the pinky will land on the 4th fret of the 1st string, that's your G sharp. Now the 3rd finger will go to the 4th fret of the 5th string, that's your C sharp again, and you will play an open 1st string with it, the E. Now the index finger is going to go to the 2nd fret of the 1st string and play the F sharp there, that's F sharp, and together with it you will play the open D, the 4th string. So now your middle finger that is now free will jump to the 2nd fret of the 5th string, that's your B, and the pinky will play the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, that's your D. Now your 3rd finger will go to the C sharp, that's 4th fret of the 5th string, and together with it you will play the open E, the 1st string. Now go back to the 2nd finger and the pinky, playing 2nd fret of the 5th string, B, and 3rd fret of the 2nd string, D, and we will land on this chord, which is an A major chord, usually in classical guitar played this way or this way, but we're going to use different fingerings for it. So first of all, the notes are E, A, and C sharp, all on one fret, second fret. So you actually need to play it with a half bar. See, the index finger plays 3 strings at the same time, but instead of placing that bar parallel to the fret and perpendicular to the string, we're going to place it sideways, like diagonally. This will allow us to squeeze in another finger here, the middle finger on the second fret of the second string. That's the C sharp. So you see, if I move to the side, I allow my finger, I kind of clear up the room for my middle finger to play this. And the first string is open. So we play this chord this way. Thumb plays the 5th string, that's your A. Now, index finger will play the 2nd string, that's your C sharp, under that middle finger here. And the thumb will now slide from the 4th string down to the 2nd string, and on that 2nd string you will use that technique that I already explained, the golpe technique, at the same time with the note. So, like this, thumb, index, now thumb, thumb, golpe with the thumb, and index finger will play the last note, that's your open E, 1st string. So, this is your second section of the tremolo. So I will now play the whole thing slowly. It repeats twice. Notice that at the end, on the second repetition, I'm not going to play that last note with the index finger. I'm just going to end this way on the second repetition. But I will now play it slowly for you. Okay, so Alegrias is a flamenco form that has a 12-beat compás. What is compás? It's a rhythmical cycle, it's a rhythm cycle, right? It has 12 beats. The accents in this cycle fall on 3, 6, 8, 10, and 12. So that's 3, 6, 8, 10, and 12. This falseta, if we count the repetitions, spans 4 compás cycles. So 3 complete cycles of that rhythm, that 12-beat rhythm, right? And it starts on 1. Each time we play bass with the thumb in a tremolo, each of these basses correspond to 1 beat of the compás. So it starts on 1, so now we can count it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. See how it ends on 12 at the end. So there you have it, friends. Please let me know in a comment section below your thoughts, your suggestions. I'm planning to do more of these tutorial videos in the future, So let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, so that I can change, or perhaps keep things that worked out. So please let me know, subscribe if you feel so, and if you liked the video, press that like button below. I will see you next time.